Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we're looking at something a little bit different. This is a Beasts of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur series. Where is it? LYTHRONAX? ARGESTES. I don't know dinosaurs, alright? I assumed it would be somewhere here. I didn't realize it was here and I couldn't see it. My bad. But now you know what it is, sort of. You probably already saw the title of the video. Anyway, so here's the story. I don't do dinosaurs. I'm not into dinosaurs as an adult. Question of the day, not being facetious here at all. I'm genuinely asking, are you guys into dinosaurs? Are there a lot of adult collectors who are into dinosaur action figures? Genuine question. I'm very curious about this because I would never have thought this would be a thing that exists. But it does. And so here's the story. Here's why I have this. I was contacted by a PR guy. He said, basically, there's this guy who makes toys and he's releasing a new line of toys soon, which is dinosaurs, I guess, mixed with cybernetic parts. Do you want to interview him and talk about his stuff? I said, no, thank you. I don't do interviews, I do reviews. I want the products to speak for themselves. I have no interest. I didn't say it like I'm elaborating for you guys, and I was very polite, of course. I'm very professional in my emails. I don't do interviews. I'll review the toys, but I'm not interested in doing interviews. And just so you guys know, that's because my job isn't to talk to the people who make the toys. They should be talking to us, the collector, bar none. That's it. Let the toys speak for themselves. Even when I release my line someday down the road, whenever I have enough time to do it, I don't want you to buy them just because I'm making them. I want you to buy them because the product looks good. Period. Who cares who's making it? If it's a good product, it's a good product. That's my mentality. So I said no thank you to the interview, but I will review a product if you want me to. He said sure. So he sent me one of their figures that's already out. One of the Beasts of the Mesozoic line, which is just a line of dinosaurs as far as I can tell. I was thinking I was gonna get one of the robot ones, but then I realized that was stupid because they're not out yet. Anyway, okay, so long story short, the guy who makes these, I guess his name is David Silva. It's on here somewhere. It's in the back somewhere. He's the owner of the company, designer, and I think he does the painting for the Paint Masters too, something like that. And I guess he's been in the toy industry for a while. I don't know. If you guys care about that kind of stuff, wrong channel. I'm reviewing the toys. Sorry. Just a quick note, guys. I was going back over the email that the marketing guy sent me, and I want to note that he mentions the brand, what is it called? Creative Beast Studios made the Beasts of the Mesozoic line. That's what I'm reviewing right here. And now owner, David Silva. So maybe he had nothing to do with this, and he owns the company now, and he's making the robot ones that are coming out, the Cyberzoic things. So maybe there's going to be some kind of change in quality or development or something. I don't know. It was unclear. But I do want to mention there may be some kind of separation between what I'm reviewing here and what is going forward. I don't know. This is all the information I have. But they did send this, and I told them I would review it, so I'm going to. It is an action figure, so I'm going to give it the full action figure review. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Longest intro ever. Alrighty, before we take a look at the figure, let's take a look at my package. It's a decent package. It's good. I like the idea. The floating logo right here being printed on the plastic. Nice. More plastic printing. Nice. They took a note, I guess. I'm guessing probably not. But from SH Figure Arts, that's the way they do theirs. It looks good. I like it. It's fancy. It's modern. Artwork right here. Good idea. But we're having a bit of a Hasbro issue because artwork does not depict the figure accurately, or more accurately, the figure does not match the artwork very well, unfortunately. Side is nice. You get the name of the dino right here. 1/18th scale. There's another Paint Master image, promotional image of the figure. There's the rest of the Wave 2 Tyrannosaurs. If I was choosing, I would have picked this guy or this guy because they look more like traditional Tyrannosaurus Rexes. I don't know any of these other dinosaurs. I mean, I don't know these guys either. We're not going to try to read those. I haven't practiced these names. And I'm not into dinosaurs, so I don't know the names. So yeah, decent packaging. Okay. What was the one in Jurassic Park? That's the one I want. The one that replaced the T-Rex. Okay, so here we go. Height measurement. I'm going to do it just like this. I'm going to measure I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Oh crap. Okay. He's longer than 12 inches. That's not what she said. All right. He is roughly, with his tail, let's just straighten it out a little bit. Okay, he is roughly 16 inches long in this pose, which is reasonable. And then that's gonna be, we'll go to his head, I guess, in this. So like right there, his head is about 7 1/4 roughly. And of course that's gonna vary a lot, but now you have an idea, like 18.5 centimeters. Here he is up against a Darwin. I have no idea why Darwin's doing the things he's doing, at least 90% of the time. Okay, so here he is up against a Darwin. There you go. It is probably a little bit small to be ridden by a Marvel Legends figure, but probably not too small, really. There you go, scale is done. All right, let's take a look at the aesthetic. I have to say, so I said I was gonna do the review, which I am doing. I am gonna do a review, and so it has to be honest. This is a $90 toy. The paint job is incredibly juvenile for a $90 toy. This is not good. I've seen, who makes the Jurassic Park figures now? Is that Mattel? I don't know, I don't collect them, but I've seen them in the stores. And the one I saw anyway looked way better than this. It was way bigger and nowhere near as much money. Now, of course, this is a smaller line as far as production quantity, that kind of thing, so there's some reason there, but this is not a good paint job. It's really not. It reminds me most of a NECA Predator, but horribly done. The Predators have so much more detail and shading and layering done appropriately. This doesn't look good at all, realistically speaking. For 90 bucks, if I paid for this, I would be pissed. It's not a good paint job. It's so not lifelike. It's so flat. It doesn't look at all like I would expect a $90 toy to look. Even the eyes. There's no depth to the eye. None. Like any decent customizer out there. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is shocking to me for 90 bucks. Any decent customizer can paint an eye that looks more lifelike than that at a much smaller scale. That doesn't look like anything. The paint job is so bad. It doesn't match. The colors don't match. They don't line up, but they don't match either. You can see where they're layered. Like, so this red spot here, it's halfway on the brown. I don't know if you can see, it's a little bit glossy where the red is on top of the brown. Same thing down here where this brown, like wash kind of thing is going on top of this brown. It does not look good. I'm sorry. Okay, that's enough. Oh, the green. I'm sorry. This is painted terribly. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible paint job, and I have to be honest about it. And I'm only being as honest about it as I am because I want you guys to have my full reaction to a $90 figure. It is big, I get it. Small production quantity, I get it. I understand the price, but it doesn't really matter to the end user. What matters is what you get for your money, and the paint sucks. The articulation cuts aren't great if you ask me, but we'll get to that more in the articulation section. So, oh, also let's open the mouth, because the mouth does open. Does the mouth look good? It doesn't look good enough. It's so big compared to other things. You know what? Here's a Hiya Toys Godzilla. His mouth is tiny, and he has more of a wash going on, some more detail work. Like it's still not great, but it's tiny compared to this. And Godzilla's tongue looks better. Godzilla has no teeth paint, but still, like obviously it's not horrible, but there's a lot going on with this figure that for 90 bucks I would have never guessed. There's a hole in his throat. I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't squirt water or anything, but they actually put a hole back there. That's interesting. I don't think you can see that. It's not that, there's a little tiny one in. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it looks bad. I mean, I think it looks terrible, paint job wise. That's unfortunate. All right, paint job or aesthetic rating, 1 out of 10. I don't know. The sculpt seems okay, but the paint job is bad enough that there's no way this is going on a shelf anywhere. I don't care about dinosaurs, but if it looked good, sure, what the heck, I'll keep it and throw it on a shelf. No, thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, as far as accessories go, we have some alternate legs. Sort of. Half the leg is alternate. So you can pull it off at the knee and you get this, which gives you the ankle and the, well, this would be the ankle, sort of. I don't know. Are they digitigrade technically? I don't know if dinosaurs count as being digitigrade. I don't know their bone structure. I'm guessing they are. Anyway, these guys have pegs in them for the display stand, which I'll show you, and these guys have the joints. I'm not really sure why they do. The joints are nice and stiff. This is only a ball peg. Maybe that's why, but these joints seem good enough that you don't really need the fixed legs, so I don't know why they bothered. Because he's already segmented up. It's a fillet of dinosaur. There's chunks everywhere, so I don't know why you have that, but you do. You have the options. You have 2 fixed legs, no articulation from the knee down, and then 2 that are articulated. And then for the articulated legs, you get alternate feet. So you have the flat feet that come on them, then you get ones where the toes are bent, and ones where the toes are kind of hanging, like he's walking. So you have that. And then you get the display stand, which it doesn't look good. Not for 90 bucks. It looks so cheap, and it's like, it is cheap. It's very hollow, just crappy plastic, which is reasonable enough for a display stand with a metal peg in it, that's fine. But this doesn't look lifelike enough for the price point. And I don't need it to be like perfect, accurate 1-to-1 scale, or that wouldn't be right, 1/18 scale rocks and grass and whatever. But this just looks so cheap. Like anybody with a little bit of dry brushing skills could do a better paint job than this, frankly. This separates if you wanted it to, or at least the instructions say it does. There we, oh, well, that just went flying. Okay, so yeah, that separates if you wanted it to. So, but now you can't display it from this side, so you can only display it from this side. So I don't know what the heck that's for. Why? What is, okay, serious question. Why? Why does that need to separate? Because it doesn't look good. They're not connected well. And it does, okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting upset just because this is so expensive and they didn't, where's that part? Forget it. Okay, oh, and then the last accessory is a card. McFarlane Toys? Anyone? I'm sorry. It's just a little irritating because they like, do you want to interview the creator of this new line? And he's amazing and you should interview him. And he might be, but the line isn't good. And you contacted a guy who reviews stuff and doesn't interview people, asking for an interview rather than a review until I asked for it. And it's really bad for the money. So I'm offended for people who are buying these. I'm offended on your behalf, guys. Anyway, we have a card here that has a very nice paint job. I mean, it looks like a painting to me. It's probably digital, but either way, it looks well done. Very nicely done. It's a nice card. Doesn't at all match the figure. Colors are completely different, and of course they're much better, but completely different. Even the shapes of the legs and things are very, very different. It's like a whole different dinosaur. So I don't know what's up with that. There's a picture of the figure, and it doesn't match the front artwork at all, but you get some info on it, so that's okay. It's a very cheap card, by the way. You can see the little tabs. So that adds very little value, because this is an adult collectible at 90 bucks, and some of them are much more than that, like a lot more. So it's got the quality of a kid's toy to me, but the price tag of an adult collectible, it's very strange. So accessory-wise, 5 out of 10, I guess. Okay, let's do articulation. There's lots of articulation here. Does it work? Or should you just buy dinosaurs that aren't articulated that look much better? That would be my question if I was into dinosaurs. Let's see what we have going on for the head. So he can look up pretty well. I'm really not loving the color scheme of this dinosaur and the shape of it. So yeah, he can look up, that's good. He can, oh, the paint job is so bad. I'm not gonna get any more review samples from this company. Sorry guys, I'm not trying to be rude, this is my honest reaction, and it's offensive. The product is offensive. Okay, so he can't look down. He can't look down any farther than that, but he can look up a lot. So, we'll see, maybe the neck will do it, we'll try. The mouth opens. Doesn't open that much. It seems like it should open more. I'm assuming he is like a Tyrannosaurus and he can bite things, other dinosaurs, pretty well, but not with a mouth that doesn't open. So that's kind of a bummer. What about leaning side to side? It leans pretty well. So he can look, and then you do get some rotation. Alright, so that's good everywhere other than looking down. Mouth doesn't close all the way, by the way. Alright, what about this joint? The neck does lean side to side. That's pretty good. Up and down, pretty limited. Yeah, I can't really get it to do much. It can look up again more than it can look down. That's so strange to me. Why can't it look... There, I'm pulling on it really hard. Okay, so the neck does come down a little bit farther. I had to really stretch that plastic over the shoulder area. But he still can't look down very far. Because this doesn't... It just doesn't go. So the neck's not great. It's okay other than for looking down. Let's do the shoulders next. It looks like a fixed hinge or swivel hinge. That's what it feels like. So I can't see in there. Yeah, you get a little bit of shoulder hinge right there. And then you get your rotation, of course. So that's fine. And then you get a swivel hinge for the elbow. It's actually a pretty decent joint. They did a good job with that. Little wrist joint. I'm gonna leave him like this. Looks like he's done with it. All right, so that's pretty nice. Another swivel hinge there. So arms are okay. Arms are surprisingly well done for being tiny joints. They are pretty good. All right, for the torso, we've got a diaphragm joint, essentially, right here. It works pretty well. It's not the most range, but it's probably enough. Again, leaning forward, not the strong suit. I don't think he would be leaning forward here, though. He'd be leaning forward at the hip or at the neck. I don't think there's probably a lot of... There's rib cage right there, so I think there's not going to be that much leaning right there. But again, I'm not the biggest dinosaur person. As in, like, not at all. But yeah, decent range. It's alright. That'll work. Alright, for the hips. Very little range, and it's ugly. So don't bring the legs out. But very little range going out to the side. And rotation-wise, I mean, if you want it to look decent at all, you can't really use it. Going forward is a little bit better. But yeah, you can force it to go farther forward or force it to go farther back, but it doesn't look particularly good. I mean, granted, there's not a whole lot you can do with some of these joints, but still, it is an articulated dinosaur, so we have to judge it. All right, for the knee, you get the rotation, the swivel, and then you get the knee. Okay, well, they swap out easily. You get the knee joint that bends, and that's all right. No problem there. Decent range, and you already saw the other parts, so that's fine. Okay, and then for the tail, you have to assemble this tail. The whole tail comes disconnected from him in the package. It's a giant double ball peg. You need to heat this. No way in heck I was able to use my man strength to get that on. I had to heat it, and then it was still hard. But it's a giant double ball peg. But we have the problem that we see with a lot of figure arts in that it's 3 straight segments of a tail. It's not going to look good. I think what they should have done is just given you like a couple different posed tails. Give you one that's straight maybe and one that's curved. Or 2 or 3. I mean, it's a pretty expensive figure. I just don't see anybody wanting to do this because it's so ugly to pose the tail. This joint doesn't seem to want to do much, by the way. Seems pretty tight. And then this joint, like, it's floppy, but it doesn't want to go anywhere. And then this joint works, but yeah, it's a really hideous setup. Oh, the tip is bendy. That's nice, I guess. But that's not enough. Just make the whole thing bendy if you're going to do that. This is ugly. It's so ugly. Alright, well, the articulation's not very good. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It's there. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not particularly good. The things I would have expected, big open mouth and being able to look down, don't work. The tail, I was upset about it until I realized it was bendy at the end, and then I got even more upset because the whole thing should just be bendy. If it's a whole separate piece anyway, make the whole thing bendy, because these joints suck, aesthetically and functionally. So, there we go. Okay, time for a final verdict on this thing. If I got this and it was 40 bucks, then I would have thought, okay, well, you know what? It's 40 bucks. That's reasonable. It's big. It has some accessories. The paint job's not good, but whatever. It's 40 bucks. This one's 90 bucks. And I have to assume this level of quality is going to be the same across the board for their line of figures. So the ones that cost a lot more, I'm guessing, are just bigger versions of dinosaurs, bigger dinosaurs, that is, at the same quality. And it seems to me that it's nowhere near worth it. Like, not even close. I have felt less ripped off by Marvel Legends than this, and I didn't buy this, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to emphasize the point, how I feel about this, having it in hand. If I bought this, I would be furious, or just really sad, because I spent a bunch of money on something that looks terrible. So I'm sorry, David Silva, if you're watching this, or the guy who contacted me. I don't know if you want your name to be public. It's not good. As far as I can tell, in most ways, it's not good. So if you are a person out there who happens to be an adult collector who wants dinosaur action figures, let me know what you think. Maybe you guys have an entirely different set of expectations than I do as just a casual bystander, but let me know, because I'm very curious. But I'm going to give this an overall rating of 2 out of 10. Way too expensive for a very juvenile product. And I say juvenile in that it doesn't feel like it's been developed thoroughly. The articulation's not very good, the paint's not very good, the accessories don't make any sense and aren't very good. There's just nothing about it that feels like a finished product to me. Very strange thing. And then the comments I was given in the email asking for the interview were like hyping up this line so much. Well, the upcoming line, but the guy's been in the industry for a long time. It's such a good thing. You should interview him, is basically the gist of the email. I'm glad I said no thanks, let the product speak for itself, because I'm sure he's a wonderful guy, and maybe he's been in the industry for a long time and can make great toys. I don't know, based on this, and this is what matters. So I'm glad this happened. I feel bad, but also I care more about my viewers and consumers than I do about the people making the toys. So anyway, there it is. I'll stop rambling about dinosaurs. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.